winner of this next match, we can see the Columbia 300 Open champion. What a beautiful trophy. Of course, Earl has lots of those in his den at home. One of these two guys is going to take it home.
Yeah, well, this should be a great match. Two of the fine left-handers on the tour. Parker Bohn, a very experienced player, been around a long time. He's 10-time champion, going against a young, very young, former Rookie of the Year for the title. And as you mentioned, they're roommates, so there's going to be some emotion involved, no matter who wins.
Well, if it's anything like the position round last night, we could have extra overtime here.
We could have that 300 tie thing. That would be exciting. What did they give, 50,000 to each player?
Ooh. Wow. Well, we're in fantasy land now.
Well,
so
$50,000, remember, for a 300 game on television today from Highland Lanes.
Well, tit for tat right there. Two opening strikes. This is going to come down to who's ever carrying. I mean, you know, the tap here or there is going to really do you in. Jason wants to get off to that early lead, put the pressure on the older Parker Bohn III.
It's tough when you're in your early 30s and you're talking about how old you are.
Well, Parker's first victory was the Columbia 300 Open in Seattle.
Well, the defending champion here is Brian Voss, and he had a bad week, finishing 83rd. Walter Ray Williams Jr., who has won the Columbia Open in the past, didn't bowl this week. He's out defending his world championship in horseshoes.
19,000 on top. 10 goes to the loser of this match, so a $9,000 game. We already see that Jakes took home 6,000, and Goebel 5, and Albee 4. Parker can't let him get out ahead too much. Got to answer everything. Oh, and this 10-pin, rather. I'm thinking like a right-hander here, stands.
Well, Parker will use, like all good spare shooters, and Parker's one of the best. He'll throw the ball very hard at this, go cross lane, use as much of the lane as he can. You see him standing clear over by the ball return. Have the concentration in his eyes. Cross the lane.
And Parker, as we mentioned, he's 32 years old. He's 5'11", 150 pounds, married to lovely Mary back home in New Jersey with 2 sons, Parker Bohn IV and Evan.
I wonder why I didn't call him Parker Bohn V. What do you think?
That's for the next generation.
I know. I was seeing if you're paying attention there, Mike.
Oh, good. I'm glad I passed the test. Well, trouble is, when you go strike, spare, strike, the other guy can be 30 pins in front of you before you can blink. And as we speak of the next generation, there's the next generation of bowlers, something that all bowling proprietors throughout the country are trying to cultivate.
And they had a great time this week. Jason Couch, big free arm swing, big rotation,
big strike.
Big strike, 10 in the pit, and he's pumped. I think I used to room with a guy named Gary Mage, and Gary was one of my best friends when I bowled on the tour. And I think when you bowl your roommate, you're more relaxed. You just feel like no matter who wins, it's a good thing. You know, one of you is going to win the match, and it's a good thing. And I think when you're more relaxed, you tend to make better shots. So we could have a very high-scoring match here. Our high game so far has been, I believe, 257 or 8. I wouldn't be surprised if both these players beat that this game.
Well, Parker's going to have to start striking on the right lane to do that. Jason took a re-rack on lane 19, see if it pays off, and it doesn't. As I mentioned before, you know, my roommate most of the time was my wife, so I never bowled her for a title. But she always got the check.
She always got the check. You got the trophy, she got the check. I see.
Well, that keeps Parker in the match. Leaves that 6-pin, cross lane at it.
Remember, it took a 225 average just to get into the top 24 for match play this week.
What's amazing to me is there's 3 guys that can break the average record this year so far of over 222. I mean, that's some serious bowling for a lot of games. You know, these guys will bowl over 1,000 games in a year.
I remember when Mark Ross set the record several years ago, somewhere around 220 or 221 or whatever it was. We always thought that was phenomenal.
Well, that was back with plastic balls, too.
Right.
That was back around 78, 79 that he set that. And it was phenomenal at that time as Parker gets a double and gets himself trailing by only 9 pins and can put himself right in contention here with 1 more.
This is the title match. Championship.
Big shot there by Parker. He needs to follow it up, though.
I think this is one of the purest arm swings in bowling right here. Parker Bohn. 4-step approach. Watch how free and easy this swing goes out. The good long push away. Nice relaxed swing. Great follow through.
Has those pins dancing. Has them dancing right there. And of course, Jason, we see Parker's reaction.
You think the loser of this match is going to lock the other guy out of the room tonight?
Well, the loser probably has to sleep on the floor or something like that. Jason wanting to get back into the strike mode. And does. You know, he has a new addition coming. We talked to him about his new expectation here.
Yeah, there's a little more pressure on me this week. You know, I got an extra mouth to feed here in about 5 or 6 months. So I better get prepared here and start winning a little more often.
Well, he's got bowling for the baby, bowling for the sponsor. I mean,
really lit up his face there, didn't it, when he started talking about the baby?
Wait, his face lights up when the baby's here.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now he's thinking about one thing, throwing strikes.
Ooh.
Got away with one there. Briefly, the 4-6-7.
So what happened?
I don't know what happened. Let's go ask Jason. We'll take another look at it, but this ball just must have gotten away from him a little bit and made a mistake somewhere. I don't see anything in the swing. He looks in good position. Balance looks good. Just hooked a little more than he expected, possibly.
Okay, 4-7. Hard and straight at the 2 pins. Has it. But Parker Bohn now leading by 1. And he can move further ahead right here.
Parker, remembers, experienced a lot of trouble on television lately. It's been a long time since he's been successful.
Right.
So I wonder if he's feeling any of that. I'm sure he is. You see the look in his eye, the concentration level. Good rotation.
Oh, and a perfect shot. You know, he's had tremendous success from the #1 position, winning 7 of his 8 singles matches. We asked him how come. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I look at it to where if I'm top seed, if I can go out and post a real good score, then whoever my opponent is has to come and chase me. Obviously, I only have to bowl 1 game for the title, so my good game is going to be good enough to win.
Sounds confident.
Mm-hmm.
Right now he's leading by 11, can increase it to 21 with 1 more.
You know, all these guys are getting more and more good instruction from good quality instructors, and they're all really improving their balance, their follow through. All this creates that kind of an effort.